Let me show you the easiest wine you could possibly make. What I have today is blackberries, and I have these are half-gallon mason jars, not quarts, half-gallon, twice the size. I filled them up about halfway with blackberries. And the reason I've got the towel covering them is I was told by a guy who is a real sure enough winemaker. He does 350 gallon vats at a time. Got his own wine company and all that. He said if you have one gnat get in a batch of wine, and he was talking about one of his big vats of wine. He said one gnat will turn it to vinegar. I don't know. I'm just telling you that guy knows his stuff, and that's what he said. So I poured them in here, and flies are bad this year, but I don't know whether you can see that. Okay, got them all about halfway full of blackberries. Over on the stove, I heated one little pan of water for my lids, another pan of water to dissolve my sugar. I'm going to put 4 cups, and I'm a little over 4 cups. That's about 4.5 probably, maybe even 5 cups of sugar. One reason I boil the water is I wanted to boil off as much as I could of the chlorine in the water. This is city water. So, spoon here. And I'm going to dissolve my sugar in a gallon of water. So 4 cups of sugar in a gallon of water. If you want your wine sweeter, if you like sweeter wine, you may want to go 5-6 cups of sugar per gallon. And being that these are half-gallon jars, it is unlikely that this 1 gallon is going to do it. I'm probably have to do this twice, but I give you the idea here. And you get your water hot enough to dissolve the sugar till it is clear, like it is right now. That looks good. That's clear. Okay, see the spoon all the way down. All right. I might need to find a tripod for the next event. Let me look around. Hang on. So I've poured the sugar water into this pitcher, and it is hot, so I'm going to pour it slowly into this jar. The jar is room temperature. The berries were room temperature. I don't want to bust the jar, so I'm not just going to dump it in there. I'm going to go a little slow. Wouldn't hurt to cool your water off first. I would recommend that you cool your syrup off first before you pour it in there. You want to, it's a pretty drastic change in temperature even for a mason jar. And please use mason jars. Don't try this with a mayonnaise jar. May have an issue. Again, just going slowly. If I had heated my jars first, then I wouldn't go so slow. You get a lid. Again, the lids are we're over in some hot water. And get a ring. Now I'm about 1 inch from the top. Get a ring, tighten it down. Now, again, you can do this with pears, peach, plum, apple, muscadine, grape. Man, I would say just about any kind. Strawberry, I've done it with strawberry, it's good. And it's just so easy. But the only work to this is straining it out. And you'll go through a colander first to get the big pieces. Then you'll go through maybe a towel or a cheesecloth, something like that, to get the smaller pieces. And then the last couple of times, 3 times maybe, go through some coffee filters. And I found one of the best ways to do that is using a canning jar funnel, and just line it with some with a coffee filter or 2. In fact, one of the better ways is take 2 of these funnels and put one of them together, and it holds the it holds the coffee filter in. But you'll need to screen it through coffee filter to get it as clear as you possibly can, and you got wine. And it's just that easy. There's no hydrometers to mess with. There's no yeast nutrient. There's no worrying about the bricks level and this and that. I'm not saying you're going to win any awards in Napa Valley, but this will make wine, okay? And you will amaze your friends because it's not that bad. It's pretty dang good. Just for point of reference, a gallon of water syrup does about 3 of these half gallons. Okay? So that'll give you a little idea. The berries are displacing some of the volume in the jar. But these are half-gallon jars, as I said before. I think I said before, half-gallon jars, and a gallon of syrup is doing about 3 of these half-gallon jars filled halfway with berries. So there it is. I did 9 half-gallon jars, so you can kind of see it's already starting to color the tint the sugar water, and again, that will be wine in no time. So you're not going to win any awards in Napa Valley, but you may amaze your friends a little bit, okay? But go ahead and make you some wine, and I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty neat that you can do this if times get hard and you don't have access to yeast and you don't have some of these other things. If you've got a little sugar and some fruit of some kind, you can make wine. It looks pretty cool. My wife's gonna love that. I got this on her dining room table. Okay. But I want to show you the after effects here of the wine. It is perking. It is bubbling. It is leaking a little bit. You see a little down here that's leaked. You see the top has buckled. So, and I've done this before, and I know the top buckles, and I know it's going to get, going to get to going here. You can see it bubbling inside. Hope you can. But what I did, if you remember, I filled it up to right about there. I'm going to say, don't go any more than that shoulder right there, okay? Don't fill it up any more than that, and don't put it on anything that you think it might be a problem if it leaks. I've got some in the house. I'm going to be moving it outside because you can see it's churning, and it is leaking a little bit. I cinched down those lids pretty good, but as you can see, it's buckling that lid pretty good. So the only thing I do different again is this right here. I'm gonna is fill it up to that right there instead of where I filled it up. I came about 3/4 inch from the top right in here, just below that lid, and I think I would give it a little bit more room, like right there. I'm going to try another experiment with just juice. I've got a juicer that I have to show you. It is so cool, and so be waiting on that. And I will. I'm going to do an experiment of doing blackberry wine with just the juice, going through the juice. It's not juice, it's juicer. It's a strainer. It's a food strainer, but it takes everything, all the pulp and everything out, and leaves you with almost all juice. So it's got a little bit of pulp, but not much. Takes all the seeds out and such. And I'm gonna try that with maybe just a small amount of that with some sugar water, and see if I can't do the same thing. But thought you might want to see that. It's boy, it is cranking that lid. It is doming that lid up. It's been about 4 days. So if you do this, don't put it on your wife's white couch, okay? Because you might have of some residue, because it got to have somewhere to go, I guess. The other ones I had, I didn't notice them bubbling over, you know, and actually coming out of the bottle. I did notice them buckling up here, but I don't think I filled them up quite as high. So I think that's the key. Fill it up to about right there. And again, crank it down pretty good and just watch out, because it, heck, the thing could blow up, I guess. But so I better get them outside. I expect it'll do this for about a week. In the past, I've seen it wine in carboys, 5-gallon carboys, really bubbling for about a week, you know, 7 to 10 days, something like that. So I'm hoping that maybe this has done all its real major bubbling, and then we'll slow down a little bit. I want to continue to ferment, but anyway, this ought to be pretty cool. So this is my Blackberry setup, and it's winding down. I'm about out of berries. This will be my last week, but I thought I want you to see that. Got flies buzzing around it out here because it does have some juice residue on it. Okay, you smell it. Smells like wine to me. Okay, I believe that's it. We'll go.